The most beautiful waterfalls in Vietnam. The most beautiful waterfalls in Vietnam are mainly located in the Central Highlands, Dalat, Pleiku, Doc Lac, and the northern provinces. According to the votes and recommendations of the travel website The Local Vietnam, some waterfalls allow visitors to soak in the cool water, while others offer beautiful picnic areas or are ideal for those seeking peace and quiet. 1. Ban Gioc Waterfall. Ban Gioc Waterfall is a group of waterfalls located on the Khe Sun River on the border between Vietnam and China. If viewed from below the foot of the waterfall, the left waterfall and the western half of the right waterfall belong to Vietnam in Dam Thuy Commune, Trung Khanh District, Cao Bang Province. The eastern half of the right waterfall belongs to China and Duc Tien Village, Dak Long Town, Dai Tan District, Changzhou City, Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. This waterfall is about 20 kilometers northeast of Chongqing County Town, about 208 kilometers from Nanning, capital of Guangxi. According to China's point of view, the main waterfall and the secondary waterfall are two separate waterfalls. The main waterfall, Ditian, is 100 m wide, 60 m deep and 70 m high. According to Vietnam's point of view, Ban Gioc Waterfall includes both the main and secondary waterfalls with a total width of 208 m. Ban Gioc Waterfall is divided into two parts. The part in the south is called Cao Waterfall. This is a secondary waterfall because the water volume is not large. That waterfall is the main waterfall located in the north on the Vietnam-China border. Ban Gioc Waterfall is the fourth largest waterfall in the world among waterfalls located on a border between countries, after Iguazu Falls between Brazil, Argentina, Victoria Falls between Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Niagara Falls between Canada and the United States. However, according to Xinhua News Agency, Ban Gioc Waterfall is the second largest transnational waterfall in the world. Ban Gioc Waterfall is the largest natural waterfall in Southeast Asia. Ban Gioc Waterfall is a famous tourist attraction, voted by China National Geographic magazine as one of the 6 most beautiful waterfalls in China in 2005. 2. K50 Waterfall. You may not have heard of K50 Waterfall, but it is one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Vietnam. K50 Waterfall, or Waterfall 50, Hang An Waterfall, is located in the middle of the Old Forest in Con Chu Reng Nature Reserve, a primeval forest spread over the land of 4 provinces, Con Tum, Gia Lai, Quang Ngai, Binh Dinh. The journey to conquer the fairyland in the middle of the Old Forest will take you to discover all the interesting things of the Old Forest in Con Chu Reng Nature Reserve. This is a trip through the forest, across streams, and conquering steep slopes to admire the beauty of the legendary waterfall that you should not miss when traveling to Gia Lai. Located in Binh Dinh Hamlet, Sun Lang Commune, Cao Bang District, Gia Lai Province, K50 Waterfall, or Hang An Waterfall, is one of 8 majestic waterfalls in Con Chu Reng Nature Reserve. With a height of over 50 m, this place is considered one of the most beautiful waterfalls in the Central Highlands. Although the name is not very beautiful, K50 Waterfall has a beauty that is both magnificent and magical, like a sparkling silk strip in the deep green of Gia Lai mountains and forests. Perhaps because not many people have set foot here, K50 Waterfall still retains its original wild features. To reach this waterfall, you will have to conquer a long, winding road, winding between slopes, crossing streams and rapids deep in the remote forest. Therefore, trekking K50 Waterfall is always a challenging but equally interesting journey, attracting a large number of enthusiasts for exploration. Con Chu Reng Nature Reserve and K50 Waterfall area have a typical tropical climate, so the weather is moderate and quite stable throughout the year with a long rainy season and a short dry season, about 3 to 4 months. According to the experience of many people, the most ideal time to trek K50 Waterfall is from January to June every year. At this time, the weather here is quite cool, pleasant, with little rain and not too dry, very favorable for trekking through forests and wading through streams. On the contrary, you should limit trekking K50 Waterfall during the rainy season, from July to December because the forest roads will be very slippery, difficult to walk and there are many dangerous swamps. 3. Pongur Waterfall. Pongur Waterfall is a waterfall on the Dam Thuy River in Phu Hoi Commune, Duc Trong District, Lam Dong Province, Vietnam. The waterfall is located about 50 kilometers south of Dalat. Tourists also call it the 7-tier waterfall. The waterfall falls from a height of nearly 40 meters, spreading over 100 meters, through a 7-tiered stone terrace system. Surrounded by a primeval forest with an area of about 2.5 hectares with diverse and rich vegetation. Legend has it that, in the past, The land of Phu Hoi, Tan Hoi, Tan Ton was ruled by a beautiful female Keho chief named Kanai. She had the ability to conquer wild animals to serve human interests, including 4 unusually large rhinos, always obeying Kanai's orders to move mountains and block streams, clear fields to grow corn, sow rice, and be ready to fight against enemies, protect the village. Thanks to that, community life became more and more prosperous and peaceful. That spring, on the full moon day of the lunar month Ng January, she gently breathed her last. 4 rhinos lingered around her day and night, not leaving their master for a moment, not bothering to eat or drink until they died. Suddenly, one morning, as dawn broke, everyone was extremely surprised to see the place where she rested, standing tall and beautiful. It turned out that Kanai's hair had turned into clear, cool water, splashing white foam, and the mossy green stone slabs stacked from high to low, forming the foundation for the waterfall, were the horns of fossilized rhinos, a symbol of the strength of solidarity, the eternal bond between humans and the vast nature. Pongur is the name transcribed by the French from the native Keho language. Pongo means the owner of the white clay land. According to some geological documents of the French, this land has a lot of kaolin. Tourism. Pongur is the only waterfall that has a festival. Every year on the full moon day of the first lunar month, young men and women from all over the country, regardless of their ethnicity, flock here to attend the spring festival. This is an occasion for people to live openly, sincerely, freely learn and love each other. For Drainer Waterfall. Drainer Waterfall, or written as Drainer Waterfall, is a waterfall located 25 kilometers from Bon Ma Thuot City in the direction of National Highway 14, across Bon Kuop hydropower plant nearly 3 kilometers, and this is a majestic waterfall that nature has bestowed upon Gioc Lac Province. Drainer Waterfall is a waterfall with a common source in the system of 3 waterfalls, Gialong, Drainer, Dray Sap of the Sripok River, Doc Nang Province. Drainer means female waterfall. Therefore, the waterfall is also commonly known as the Wife Waterfall. This waterfall is also called the Upper Drainer Waterfall, like the Gialong Waterfall in the Lower Drainer located in Doc Nang Province. It is a combination of 2 rivers, the Krong Ana River, female river, and the Krong No River, male river. The 2 rivers blend together to form the legendary Sripok River in the Central Highlands. Coming to Drainer, the first feeling that comes to you is a majestic waterfall. The waterfall is over 250 m long, over 30 m high, and about 150 m wide. The white foam and steam make the scenery around the waterfall poetic. But the most attractive is not admiring the waterfall but exploring and finding thrills in the cave of nearly 3,000 square meters behind the waterfall. Looking at the powerful, rushing water pouring down from above, many people shudder. But for those who love thrills, they can experience the feeling of adventure when they dive straight through the water curtain, feeling the sting of the water when it hits their heads and shoulders. The feeling of going from a place filled with light, immersed in the darkness of the cave. The safety of diving into the water curtain is quite high, with life jackets for visitors to wear and professional swimmers arranged nearby. In addition, the waterfall is special because behind the falling water there is a large cave. Therefore, people can go inside the water flowing from one side to the other without getting their clothes wet. When standing from inside the cave looking out at the long walls of water surrounding the front, the dim light illuminates the strangely shaped rocks. Nowadays, more and more domestic and foreign tourists come to the Central Highlands to admire the majesty of the Drainer River. 5 Bao Dai Waterfall. The miracle that nature has favored the Lam Dong Plateau is the majestic, pristine waterfalls. One of them is Bao Dai Waterfall, Jarablian Waterfall, nestled day and night in the quiet Ta Hien Mountains and forests. This natural waterfall has a wild beauty like a gypsy girl in her 20s, walking on the vest step. Exuding purity, charm, and still very wild, as if it had never been exploited. Bao Dai Waterfall is located about 70 kilometers from the center of Da Lat, located on the top of a high mountain in Ta Hien Commune. This place is known as the tallest waterfall in Lam Dong. Bao Dai Waterfall is a natural waterfall that has not been exploited, so it still retains its original wild beauty. The landscape and plants here grow naturally, giving visitors a feeling of authenticity, peace, and simplicity. Anyone who has visited once will not be able to forget its majestic beauty in the middle of the immense mountains and forests. Bao Dai Waterfall is located in a remote area, where there are high, rolling mountains, next to hills with immense coffee plantations, only a few sparse rows of houses. Therefore, the name Huang Waterfall was born from here. In addition, Local people often call it Gioc Waterfall, which in the Kura language means high waterfall. Just like the way the people here call it, the large stream of water falls down from above strongly, in successive waves, creating a poetic and hurried image of Bao Dai Waterfall, Gioc Waterfall. Previously, during the time when King Bao Dai, the last monarch of the Nguyen dynasty, was still in power, he often organized hunting activities in the highlands. And he chose Gioc Waterfall as a resting place, a place to relax, so the waterfall was renamed after this king. From a distance of more than 3 kilometers from the waterfall, you can still hear the sound of wind and water roaring and rushing, resounding throughout the sky. And many times when listening, this sound is just like the harmony of nature. Nature in the middle of the sacred forest. Previously, there was a business that invested in developing Bao Dai Waterfall into an ecotourism area, with full facilities such as flower gardens, huts for visitors to stop, and stairs for more convenient movement. However, this place is mainly for local people to live, so tourism is not developed. Therefore, the waterfall still retains its majestic, wild beauty, true to the standards of the Central Highlands. Those who come here to visit are excited as if they are exploring a mysterious maze. Bao Dai Waterfall is a combination of poetic beauty, wild mystery like the hair of gypsy girls lying on the cliffs. When visiting here, you will enjoy the cool air, admire the strange beauty of nature, and immerse yourself in the chirping of rare birds. 6. Phu Quang Waterfall. The majestic, poetic waterfalls that exude a captivating beauty like a fairyland in the middle of the wild mountains and forests are always attractive destinations for travel enthusiasts. Once you have strayed here, you will experience many interesting things, freely immerse yourself in the beautiful nature and enjoy the priceless gifts that nature has bestowed upon this land. Look no further, right in the mountains of Gioc, there is a magical and magnificent Phu Quang Waterfall that captures the hearts of many nature lovers, worthy of being an ideal destination in your travel guide. Phu Quang Waterfall is located in the quarry area of the same name, in the territory of Dam Thuy Commune, Gioc District, Gioc Province, and about 45 kilometers southeast of Pleiku city center. This unique waterfall is up to 45 m high, flowing down the lava floor of a volcano that is now inactive. The waterfall originates from the mountain, pours down the La Peat stream, creating white foam, and flows to the Ayun River, where there is an Ayun Ha irrigation project with a reservoir of about 3,700 hectares. Parallel to Con Bong Waterfall, Thach Tang Waterfall, this place is known as one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Gioc. Phu Quang Waterfall stands majestically in the middle of the majestic Central Highlands Mountains and possesses an extremely impressive ecosystem with rich vegetation and poetic streams. This waterfall promises to bring you wonderful moments of exploration and moments of relaxation in the fresh nature. Besides, you will have the opportunity to experience many interesting outdoor activities such as taking check-in photos, rowing around the lake, enjoying attractive picnics. Not as gentle and peaceful as K40 Waterfall, when coming to Phu Quang Waterfall, you will have the opportunity to admire the 45 m high waterfall flowing from upstream to La Peat stream and splashing white foam, creating an extremely magnificent scene. If you are lucky enough to come here on a beautiful day, you can also capture the moment when the rainbow on the ground appears in the middle of Phu Quang Waterfall with extremely brilliant and impressive bands of light. In particular, in the area around the waterfall, you will be able to explore the extremely rich vegetation with countless species of trees and grasses in a fresh, cool climate all year round. Therefore, this is one of the ideal places if you are looking for a peaceful retreat outside the bustling city. 7. Love Waterfall. Love Waterfall Sa Pa is located at Tram Tun, Nui Xe, San Sa Ho Commune, Sa Pa Town, Lao Cai Province, nearly 15 kilometers southwest of the town center and about 2 kilometers southeast of Okui Ho Pass. The waterfall is about 100 m high, originating from the sacred Phansapan Peak and carrying the cold breath of the great mountains and forests. The waterfall flows into white foam like the silver hair of Mother Nature, cascading down to the gentle Suivang, winding around thorny bamboo bushes interspersed with graceful orchid and rhododendron clumps. To listen to the sound of the waterfall rushing, stimulating the passion for conquering nature of adventurous and exploratory souls, you should visit the Love Waterfall Suivang during the rainy season from May to November every year. In particular, May, June is the water pouring season in Sa Pa, when the forests compete to put on a lush green coat and welcome the warm rays of early summer. If you want to admire the carpets of wildflowers blooming in harmony around the poetic Suivang, you should visit here around March, April every year. At that time, the elegance and gentleness of the orchids blend with the deep pink color of the rhododendrons and spread their fragrance throughout the immense primeval forests. Legend of the name Suavang and Love Waterfall in Sa Pa. No one knows since when, but local people have passed on to each other a touching love legend about the waterfall lying in the middle of Hoang Lien Sun mountain range. Legend has it that in ancient times, beautiful fairies often came to bathe in the clear stream. One day, the seventh fairy had the chance to meet Oquiho and forever remembered the heartbreaking bamboo flute of the woodcutter. From then on, she often escaped from her parents to come to Earth to chat and dance with him to the melodious flute. The silent love between the woodcutter and the fairy. Finally, the heavens discovered and forbade the two from ever seeing each other again. Because he missed his lover so much, the young man's tears fell into a waterfall and people called it the Waterfall of Love. The seventh fairy transformed into a yellow-feathered bird flying around the mountain top and continuously called out Oquiho 3 times to search for his figure. At the foot of Sa Pa Love Waterfall is a 1,600 kilometers long stream originating from the primeval forest on Fansipan Peak. The clear stream water allows you to see the bottom covered by mossy yellow rocks. When the bright sunlight shines down on the stream, the water surface suddenly reflects a sparkling golden light like a jewel and captivates people's hearts. That's why the locals named this poetic stream Golden Stream. 8 Elephant Waterfall. Dalat Elephant Waterfall is a surprising destination for nature lovers. Lam Dong seems to be a place born for those who love nature. From hills, mountains, waterfalls, rivers, lakes, to flowers, and vast pine forests, all have a strong attraction, holding visitors to this magnificent highland. The waterfalls in Lam Dong possess a unique charm. As many waterfalls as there are stories associated with the lives of the indigenous people. If you have ever been to, or know, then today, Cluc Vietnam will introduce Voi Waterfall, a wild waterfall nestled in the middle of the vast mountains and forests. Voi Waterfall, along with Lin and Pagoda next to it, have created attractive tourist destinations. Voi Waterfall is one of the 3 largest waterfalls in Lam Dong Province, located in Nam Ban District, about 28 kilometers southwest of Dalat City. It is not clear when Voi Waterfall appeared, but its legendary stories are associated with the development history of this highland, and have become a destination not to be missed when coming to Dalat, Lam Dong. Elephant Waterfall's official name is Liang Ro Wa, but perhaps because the giant rocks underneath have been eroded by water to become round like the back of a wild elephant, the waterfall is often called Elephant Waterfall. From a height of 30 meters, a large area of water pours down, creating white foam with a roar that echoes throughout the sky, creating a giant water curtain up to 40 meters wide. Surrounding the waterfall is a primeval broadleaf forest with birds and wild animals. On beautiful days, you will see a magical rainbow hidden behind the water. However, due to the geological structure in this area with a lot of alluvium, the water at Elephant Waterfall will not be clear but will be a bit cloudy, sometimes cloudy yellow. To get to Elephant Waterfall in Dalat, you have to go through many trails and bushes in the deep forest. This is quite a challenging journey, requiring you to be in good health and patient. But when you get there, you will not regret it at all. You will admire the majestic beauty of the waterfall, listen to the sound of the water, feel the cool wind and the scent of the grass. You can also explore the mysterious bat cave, where hundreds of bats live. In addition, you can also bathe in the clear blue pond, or take virtual photos with unique angles of Voi Waterfall. Voi Waterfall is one of the few waterfalls that still retains the pure wildness of the Central Highlands mountains and forests. In 2001, Voi Waterfall was recognized as a National Scenic Monument. Since then, Voi Waterfall has become more and more known to many people, and has become a favorite of those who are passionate about backpacking, conquering, and exploring nature, and experiencing new lands. Admire the wild beauty of Voi Waterfall. Voi Waterfall, with a height of 30 m and a width of 40 m, brings the majestic beauty of nature. The roar of water pouring from above, like the roar of the earth and sky, creates a majestic atmosphere. Surrounding the waterfall are large rocks shaped like elephants, creating a wild and poetic scene. This wild landscape is a unique combination of land, sky, and cool green forest. 9 Ba Ho Waterfall. Ba Ho Nha Trang is an attractive tourist destination, considered as the Tuet Tin Kok version of Con Hoa with a wild, mysterious, majestic, and poetic natural landscape. Ba Ho is characterized by rapids, steep cliffs, With a terrain characterized by rapids, steep cliffs, and a wild natural landscape, Ba Ho Nha Trang is one of the favorite destinations for tourists when traveling to Nha Trang on their own. To learn more about Ba Ho Stream Tourism, follow the information below. Ba Ho Stream Ecotourism Area is located in Phu Hieu Village, Gioc Commune, Ninh Hoa, Con Hoa. Ba Ho Stream is about 25 kilometers from Nha Trang City and originates from the stream on the top of Han Son, 660 m high, more than 10 kilometers long. Ba Ho Stream Area owns a unique primeval forest ecosystem with a system of small waterfalls flowing all year round, forming a complex of 3 lakes located at different heights. The appropriate time to go on a tour of Ba Ho Nha Trang is before the 4th lunar month. In particular, around November, December, January is when the scenery of Ba Ho puts on its most unique beauty, likened to at Tin Cock, when the water in the lakes turns turquoise. After the 4th lunar month, it will be the rainy season. Storms so floods upstream can come down at any time, causing danger to tourists. The journey to Ba Ho will start from the center of Nha Trang City, going along Highway 1A towards Ninh Hoa. After passing Long Phu Tourist Port for about 10 to 15 minutes, there will be a signpost to Ba Ho Tourist Area. The signpost will direct you to turn onto the village road, go all the way to the concrete road to the intersection, then turn left and continue straight to reach the gate of Ba Ho Nha Trang Tourist Area. At the gate of the tourist area, you will need to continue about 1 kilometer on the trail through the forest running along the stream bank, climbing over the rocks in the direction of the arrow to reach Ba Ho Stream Area. You can choose to walk or rent an electric car for this section. However, if you choose to rent an electric car, the car will only run the entire trail, about 2/3 of the distance, and you will still have to walk the remaining 1/3 of the distance. In recent years, Ba Ho Nha Trang Tourist Area has become an attractive destination, attracting many visitors. Therefore, accommodation services have also been developed and expanded to many different types. 10 Dam Thuy Waterfall, lost in a paradise in the middle of the Lam Dong Highlands. A destination not to be missed when traveling to Dalat is Dam Thuy Waterfall. This is one of the majestic and extremely wild landscapes. Dalat is not only known for the mist covering the city, with the towering Long Biang Peak in the middle of the forest, the steaming specialties, but also known for the places to experience nature. Exploring Dalat with the destination of Dam Thuy Waterfall is a completely new journey, a wonderful experience. Because this is one of the largest and most beautiful waterfalls in Lam Dong, with a history of formation more than 15 years ago. The waterfall is located in the Dam Thuy tourist complex with many tourist services and entertainment spots. With the cool and fresh climate of the plateau, mixed with a bit of cold, combined with the magical mist in the middle of the primeval forest, Dam Thuy is truly attractive. What could be more wonderful than walking on the stone steps, slowly walking on the slope to explore the majestic waterfall? Dam Thuy Waterfall is about 60 meters high, about 30 meters wide. This place is both majestic and magnificent with 2 main waterfalls pouring down from above, white and straight. To reach the top of the waterfall, you have to overcome more than 138 steps. The path to conquer the top of the waterfall is based on a steep cliff. From the starting point of the tourist area, the steps do not lead visitors straight down to the foot of the waterfall, but turn along a small path halfway up the mountain. Therefore, you can admire the waterfall from above, admiring the amazing beauty of Mother Nature. From here, the view will be wide, covering the entire waterfall with the turbulent water, splashing foam, white across the sky. The lake is home to large and small rocks, hidden under the moss. On the rocks at the foot of the waterfall, the color of time seems to add to the colorful and magical beauty. On both sides of the bank are rows of lush, green, dense trees, as if to affirm to those who visit about the diverse ecosystem here. In addition, at the foot of the waterfall there is a wooden bridge, helping visitors to admire the beauty from many angles. Walking on the 3-branch wooden bridge and the stairs to the top of the waterfall is the purest natural experience. You can exchange culture with them by drinking wine and immersing yourself in the gong dances, or maybe learn how to make a brocade fabric in the style of the ethnic people.